the new Z-Cam F8. So here it is, the brand new E2-F8 from Z-Cam. They've had the F6, which is the 6K version of the camera, out for quite some time, but this is the 8K version. So as far as we know, this is the first round of shipment for the 8K version. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this completely out of the box, show you everything that it comes with, and then we're gonna show you some really sick sample footage. Well, there you have it. That's what comes in the E2-F8 box. So we have the camera itself, and then we have what looks to be the Wi-Fi antenna with the word gift on it. And then we have a couple power connectors here. We have, looks like a D-tap connector and adapter. So that's pretty much it. So we went ahead and we bought a Tilta cage for it because we're just Tilta fans here at Gear Focus. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cage on it, and then we're gonna go from there. So the cage we got doesn't fit. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. All right, so we got everything set up on the camera. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was not exactly the easiest setup of a camera that I've ever done, but the first issue we ran into was the cage. So because this camera is so new, the cage that Tilta said would fit didn't. And we were able to get the cage mounted. I just had to take the top plate off, and then I took the top handle and put it into the 1/4-20 mount that is on the top of the camera. So we have it set up generally the way that I would set it up anyway. I have my 24-105 on there as well, just to kind of get it set up and start messing around with it here at the studio. The other thing was the app. So Z-Cam does have an app for these cameras. The Z-Cam app was super slow. Even when I was trying to just change my shutter speed, it would take a good 5 or 6 seconds for it to even register what I was doing, and it would black my screen out and everything. While 5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot of time, it's definitely annoying to have to press a button and sit there and watch the little spinny wheel just go, and go. And then your setting changes. Like that's a really long time when it really shouldn't take that long. Another quirk that I did notice is when you switch the recording resolution to 6K, it does crop in on the sensor, but at the 8K and the 4K, it is the full frame sensor. I guess all that's left at this point is to go and film. So we're gonna go head out, we're gonna get some sample footage. It's not gonna be anything that's super ridiculous or has any super crazy motion. It's just gonna be to show you what the 8K does. And then we're gonna take it into the editing studio and we're gonna see how well it edits in Premiere Pro, because that's what I use to do all of my editing. So I will see you guys when we're shooting sample footage. Alright guys, so we're back in the editing studio, and first off, I just want to give a huge shout out to my good friend Jay, who helped us out with that B-roll sequence that you just watched. I'm going to leave the link to his website and all of his social media stuff down in the description below, so feel free to check him out. So I just wanted to give you guys a few of my first impressions of working with this video. So first up, we filmed pretty much everything with the H.265 file format. Now, there are several different formats that we can use, but with the 8K, we pretty much only get the H.265 and the Z-RAW. And Z-RAW isn't exactly where it needs to be in order for me to want to use it right now, so I just went ahead and I used the H.265. So one of the benefits of the H.265 file format is the fact that they are pretty small. So we shot a bunch of clips in Baltimore, and I only wound up with about 55 gigs worth of footage, which is quite a contrast to the typical Blackmagic RAW files that I'm working with, so that was really, really nice to see. But on the flip side, the H.265 files do not really play all that well in Premiere. They're super laggy and they don't really play back smoothly unless you use proxies or if you convert them to something like ProRes. So while we're on the topic of the ProRes, you can record ProRes internally on the Zcam, but you can only do that up to 6K. So you're probably wondering why we decided to get an 8K camera, considering that most people can't even view their content in 4K, let alone 6 or 8K. The benefits of using the higher resolution is like you saw earlier on in the video where I zoomed into the American flag. You can do that with 8K or 6K, and you can zoom in pretty far and still maintain a 4K resolution or even a 1080 resolution. 8K footage is actually 4 times what 4K is, so if you took an 8K image, you could zoom in up to 4 times and still maintain a 4K image. Now for something like a YouTube channel, 6 or 8K isn't exactly necessary, but it does definitely make the post workflow much easier, as I don't necessarily have to shoot additional shots to get closer up. I can use the same shots that I used before as long as they maintain their focus. So I just wanted to give you guys a real quick video of my first impressions and some sample footage of the Zcam E2-F8. We are going to be doing a full review and tutorial later on down the road, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So go ahead down in the comments below and let us know what you think of the camera and if it's something that you would even consider putting into your workflow. And also while you're down there, make sure you hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button, as it really does help us out here on the channel. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a good weekend. I'm Dan with Gear Focus, and I'm always here to help you feed your passion.